Hello, welcome to the E09 show. I'm your host, John E09. In this episode, we'll potentially have regulars coming on, but if not, well, the same old deal, just go with the flow. So, introducing from St. Louis, Missouri, she's an author, and loads more. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Leah Rachel.
Thank you for having me on. I'm really excited to be here.
Me too. So, how's life?
Pretty good. I'm off work today, so I'm feeling good.
Okay, that's nice. And is there anything you've been up to recently?
Um, no, just the usual work and then taking care of my family kind of thing.
Oh yes, same old, just like me.
Yeah.
So, so as an author, what inspired you to become an author?
Well, I've always loved books. And from the time I was a little girl, actually, I liked writing and used to write little short stories and little sort of like vignette things. And then in college, I was a creative writing major at first and published my first short stories there. And I've just at it ever since. I just love writing. I don't know if it's like a bug I was born with or what it was, but I really enjoy writing.
Okay, that's cool. Well, how many books have you written so far?
Well, I've written four and have had two published. So I have two more out, picking them up.
Hmm. All right then. Is there a couple books that you're currently writing or about to be published?
Well, yeah, so I have two published. The first one is called The Other Shakespeare, and it's a historical fiction that imagines what would have happened if Shakespeare had been born a woman instead of a man. So it's 1500s London and time period there. So that one's the first published one, and then I have one that just got published last month, Seeking Forgiveness. That one's semi-autobiographical about interracial, which I did in my family. I'm white, my son's black, and so I wrote a story about that. And again, I have some other ones, but they're not published yet, so you can't get them. So no point talking about them.
Okay, fair enough. And what do you have a process in writing these books?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say actually that the two of them were a little bit different. So the first one was pure fiction, and I a lot of the writing techniques you're told about, like doing background sketches of the characters and having index cards of the scenes and moving them around. And so a lot of the usual for the first one. The second one, because it is semi-autobiographical, I didn't need to do like biographical sketches of the characters so much. But I will say both of them took a lot of edits. So there's writing and there's rewriting. And both my books went through at least 7, 8, 9 drafts before I felt like they were ready.
Okay. Well, practice makes perfect.
I'm
Do you?
sorry, what was that?
Never mind. So, do you prefer headphones or earbuds?
Earbuds.
Okay, fair enough. Any reason why, or just like you just like earbuds in general?
Well, I am usually glasses, and so headphones can like press on the frames, like the sides by your ear, and it can give me a headache. So ear like don't go over your head and where your glasses are, and that's the main reason why. To be totally honest, if I wore my contacts more often, maybe headphones would be okay. What do you prefer?
I actually don't have a specific preference on headphones or earbuds. As long as I can lie in bed comfortably with them, that's fine by me.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, absolutely. What is the best way to start the morning?
Definitely a cup of coffee, and maybe even like a scone or something sort of fun and chocolatey. But yeah, I would say I don't think the morning can start for me without coffee.
Okay, I can see your point. What's something you're tired? What's something you tried really hard to like, but you just couldn't?
Um, I would say eggplant. I like to eat. I like to cook. I like to think I have a wide palate, like, and I'll eat a lot of things. But for some reason, I just cannot get into eggplant. And I've tried. And the funny thing is the background. I'm half Turkish, and eggplant's big in Turkey. But I gene where it tastes good, so I would definitely say eggplant.
All right, cool. What's your favorite type of day?
My favorite type of day. My favorite type of day is when it's cold outside and warm in your house and you don't have to work and you a good day for me is staying in your pajamas all day and drinking hot chocolate.
Fabulous. Did you have any role models growing up?
I mean, I would definitely say my mother. I mean, I feel like that sounds a little bit trite, but the women in my family are very strong. My grandmother and my mother, I would like to think me. My grandmother was an author when the days, women didn't even get much education, certainly didn't have a job outside of raising the family. So for her to have written and published books and plays and be recognized, over Europe was a big role model for me. And so, and there have been other strong women that I've always sort of had as role models, but I would definitely say the women in my family are top of the list.
All right then. What natural landmark would you like to see someday?
I do love traveling, so I do make an effort to see things I want to see. Oh, but I would say, Easter Island, the what are they called? Big like stone faces. I'm forgetting what they're called. But those big stone faces on Easter Island, I would love to see those one day. And that's one thing I'm not sure I'll to because it's far away and quite expensive to get there.
Okay. What is something that you are obsessed with at the moment?
What am I obsessed with? Well, unfortunately, I my nature is to be a little bit cynical, and I'm getting better as I get older where I don't always assume the worst. Like if somebody is supposed to meet me for lunch and they don't show up, I used to take it personally, and now I realize, well, maybe they just got in a car accident or there's a reason they didn't show up. So I have been obsessed sometimes with slights I get from people, especially at work, and then I come home and I can't stop thinking about it. And I'm getting better. Luckily, I realize it's not a big deal, and the world is bigger than colleagues I have at work. But it's taken me a long time to not obsess over slights I sometimes feel that I endured.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
If you had a song for every time you enter the room, what song would it be?
Um. Well, my son and I like that Roar one. Oh my God, I'm like drawing a blank on her name. Um, I'm drawing a blank right now on the name. She's extremely famous, and I can't remember it off the top of my head. But I would say something uh, big, strong, happening beat for sure.
Okay then, that's great. Do you ever travel often?
Do I have a what?
Sorry, do you travel often?
Oh yes, actually, at my husband, we each had deal breakers. One for him was I wasn't allowed to cut my hair because he really loves long hair, and mine for him to go somewhere international every year. We have to take an international trip every single year, and so we did it when my son was first born. It was too hard, but we tried over 20 years to do that, just about.
Okay.
Mhm.
This is coming from the top of my head. Have you ever thought about some of the tallest skyscrapers in the world and thought,
Mhm.
you know what, I want to live at the highest point of that skyscraper?
I am well. I don't fear heights, and I do like views. So I'm not idea of going to a skyscraper. I would say that I would prefer to be indoors, not outdoors, because I hear the wind can be pretty brutal way up there. So I would love to see the view from the tallest skyscraper for sure.
Me too.
And let me just remember the artist is Katy Perry. I can't imagine I couldn't remember Katy Perry.
Okay. Would you rather be teleported 500 years into the future or 500 years into the past?
um, I would definitely say that's an easy one, especially as a woman, to be honest, because Again, I wrote a historical fiction novel of 400 years, well, 405 years in the past, and women had no rights. And I really like having the right to vote and travel and go to school. So backwards.
Okay, that makes sense. If you can snap your fingers and learn a new language, what language would you learn?
Probably I would pick Chinese or Arabic, something that a lot of people, like billions of people, speak, so that I could talk to more people in the world. And both Arabic and Chinese, I don't know at all. And there would be a whole lot of people to have fun conversations with if I could speak those languages.
Okay, that's a very good pick.
Thanks.
You're welcome. If you were chosen to be a colonist for a new habitable planet, would you take the opportunity?
Uh, Probably not. If I were in my 20s still, probably yes, but because then I feel like I, could do a lot and be more of an adventure. But I am sort of getting, a little bit older, and I'd rather just have my coffee in the morning and and you see my family. Like I can't imagine missing my. I mean, you didn't tell me if my family gets to go with me, so I was assuming they don't. So I would say no right now.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What kind of music do you enjoy listening to?
What kind of music? I like everything. I would say that pop is probably the one I listen to the most, like popular song now. Yeah.
Nice. Would you rather have an agility of a cat or have chicken feet?
Definitely the agility of a cat. They can jump so well and seem on their feet. So yeah, definitely the agility of a cat.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
And if you ever, or if there is a country that you haven't been to, but you want to go there, which country you want to go visit?
I mean, God, I'd love to go everywhere, to be honest with you. I will say that at the moment, China is the only Asian country I've been to. I haven't been to Singapore. I haven't been to Hong Kong, Japan. And I really want to go to more of those countries. I mean, I've been to a million countries, not a million, but, a lot of Europe and a lot of, south of us and South America and whatnot. So I would really love to go to Singapore, let's say.
Yeah, I actually like to go to Singapore. It's very modern country, I might say.
Mm, mm. Yeah, and I've heard good things from other people who have gone, so I'd like to go.
Me too. Where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
20 years from now, I'm lucky. I see myself as content. I'm not going to say happy, and I certainly hope I'm not depressed, but I would hope that as I'm getting older, I've raised my son so he's a decent human being. I've hopefully in another 20 years earned my retirement from my job, and I would just like to be content. I feel like if I'm not top on my wishes, maybe they'll actually come true.
Ah, yes, sounds good. What would you choose as the eighth wonder of the world?
Hmm. Eighth wonder of the world. Probably some, well, I want to say some technology like the ships that can take us up into the atmosphere, but that's not, I mean, the wonders are usually things that are on this earth, that are big things already on this earth. So I don't
Hmm.
know. That's a good question.
Yeah, it sure is. If your
I
life
mean,
was a meal, sorry.
no, I should say I don't have a better answer than that. So go on, next question.
Anyway, if your life was a meal, what kind of meal would it be?
If my life were a meal, it would be dinner. So it would be a full big meal and it would have all the courses. It would have an appetizer that was maybe good and healthy in the beginning, then a really big meal that had vegetables and meat and everything you could taste and try. So you get a little taste of everything. And then hopefully you've left a little bit of room for dessert. So there's something sweet in your life. And you can end on a sweet, content, sort of full, happy.
Fabulous. Do you like spicy food?
I do. I don't like it super, super spicy. I know when my husband and I go through Taco Bell, he gets not just the hot sauce, but the fiery sauce. I'm not a fiery spice, but the medium to hot's good for me.
Cool. Would you rather use soap as shampoo or shampoo as soap?
Definitely shampoo as soap. I hate when I run out of shampoo because I am a little bit sensitive about making sure my hair is conditioned and feels soft and everything. So if you use regular soap on your hair, that dries it out. That's really bad for it. But using shampoo on your body, I don't think that matters at all. So I actually definitely have an answer for this one. I feel like it's a hard question, but I have an answer. Shampoo is soap for sure.
Okay, sounds good. If you could travel back in time, what decade would you want to live in?
Well, so travel back in time, I would actually go to like 1540 London, England, because I would love my dream would be able to see Shakespeare perform one of his plays in the court of Queen Elizabeth, so that I would get to meet both Shakespeare and Queen Elizabeth and watch one of his plays being put on in court. So though that's the time period, be like important enough to be invited to the court of Queen Elizabeth. Were I to be invited to the court of Queen Elizabeth, I would love to see Shakespeare give one of his plays there.
Oh, that would be very interesting.
Yeah, wouldn't it? Yeah, I mean, they say he even performed in some of them, so wouldn't it'd be fun not just to meet him, but see him perform his own plays.
That'd be quite a coincidence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to take my phone with me so I could take a video of it, but I don't.
I mean, you could try, but it's gonna raise a lot of suspicion with the locals.
I
So,
know.
yeah, they'll be like, witchcraft, witchcraft, and yeah,
Well,
the rest
my
is
full set
the
of
rest is
teeth without,
history.
I think with teeth that are mouth that does not missing teeth would really surprise them too in those days.
Yeah. If someone wrote a book about you, what do you think its title would be?
Its title would be either My Life, I Tried My Best, or I Loved to the Very End.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, these are interesting questions I've never thought of. So I'm finding it interesting what I'm saying in response.
Yes. Yeah. Very intriguing.
Yeah.
Would you rather be really hot or really cold?
Yeah, I think I'd rather be really hot being cold. And I get cold a lot and I just hate it. So I'm sure being really hot isn't that comfortable either, but I just feel like I'd rather be hot and than be shivering all the time.
No, I suppose so.
Yeah.
If your mind was an island, what would it look like?
If it was an island, um, I mean, I would like to that it had personality. So definitely nothing smooth like a plain circle or a square or a triangle. Something that had like jagged edges, tops, and maybe there'd be like a whole peninsula sticking out of it that was fun to explore. So something that was missing and had a lot of nooks and crannies to explore.
All right then. If you could host a talk show, who would you have on first?
If I could host a talk show, who would I have on first? Probably Michelle Obama. To be honest, I feel like she has a lot of things that would be interesting to talk to her about. She's met a lot of interesting people. From her, I've only read the first book, not the second book, but from the first book, she seems like both an interesting and kind person. So yeah, I think she would be fascinating, to be honest.
Okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
What was the best thing you have bought off Amazon?
What was the best thing? What?
What was the best thing you bought off Amazon?
Oh, the best off Amazon. Well, this is going to sound self-serving, but I did buy a copy of my own book to make sure they printed it right. um,
Okay.
But other than buying my own book to make sure they printed it right, I would say, gosh, almost anything I get off Amazon, I like. Yeah, I'll just stick with the book. I can't think of a better answer right now.
No, it's alright. It happens. Would you rather speak all languages or talk to animals?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna ask that one to my son when I get home. I would say animals because languages you can at least get interpreters if you really wanted to talk to somebody. It's at least possible, but it's not possible to talk to animals right now. So if I could do that, that would just be opening a whole world of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But your
When
next question should be what animal do I talk to first?
Well, actually, I was going to ask, if you broke something, would you rather fix them or replace them?
I mean, I'd like to say I'd like to fix it because we use up too much stuff in this world and we should recycle what we do. In all honesty, I have to admit sometimes I just buy a replacement because it's easier. But since your question is more what I would ideally do, I would say fix it.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
What is something that a lot of people consider to be a luxury, but you don't think you could live without?
Well, I will tell you that a year ago we installed a toilet in our house where the seat heats up like a heated toilet seat, and it sounds really silly, but it's one of and I heard a podcast right after we installed it where someone said, appreciate you'll be a happier person if you appreciate the little things. And that person talked about how much every morning he appreciates sitting on a warm toilet seat. And I laughed at the time, but now I really love our warm toilet seat. And when I have the bathroom not in our house, I miss our toilet seat.
Okay, that's cool. So, what about regulars has joined the studio? Hello, Eric.
Hey, how you doing?
Going great. So, we'll be talking with Leia about her work as an author and a lot of other things. You got any questions for her?
Uh, no, not right now.
Okay, that's cool. So, what age do you wish you could permanently be at?
Hmm. That's interesting because, you would think I'd say in my 20s because then you're young and healthy and nothing hurts and you have all the stuff before you. But, I'm a teacher and I have students in their 20s and they have such angst about like, where's my life going? And I don't want to be back to that place where I have no idea what to do with my life. You can lose sleep over that. So I don't know, maybe the ideal age is more in your 30s. So you're young enough to still be healthy and can run around, without feeling like anything aches, but you're old enough that you're not like totally confused about where your life is going.
Oh,
I mean,
that's a good conception about it.
yeah, because no one wants to work a job that they don't want to work for the rest of their lives. I'd be confused too.
Yeah. Yeah, I really
Yeah.
feel bad for some of my young students who are just like, I major in this, what should I do? I don't know what, like, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure is. What's the most useless talent that you have?
The most useless talent that I have. I can hold my breath underwater a really long time. Like nobody can beat me at that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I've yet to meet anybody that can beat me. I'm sure there are probably like deep divers that can beat me. But I've not met one yet.
Nah, it doesn't count. They use headgear.
Yeah. Well, there's those free dives. So, I spent 5.5 years in Los Angeles. A good friend there who was a free diver. And that is very dangerous. And I hate to say this, but he actually did die doing it because you have to be really careful at it. So, anyway,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah.
All right.
Put a tone in there that was negative.
It's fine.
Yeah. So I was just thinking, what do you enjoy the most in your free time?
In my free time, what I really enjoy the most is like having or depending on the time of day, a cup of coffee and sitting down on the couch and reading a book, like a good book. Of course, I hate crappy books, but having a drink, snuggling under a blanket, and like reading a book, that's just awesome.
Ah, nice.
I got a random question.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Does eating too much rice make a person shorter or stunt their growth?
What?
I don't know.
I'm not.
That is so random and spontaneous. I love it.
I don't know. I just looked it up and it said like rice can make you like eating rice can make you can like stunt your growth. And I was like, wait, is that true?
Really?
Yeah. I looked it up.
Where did you find that?
I don't know. I was just looking. I don't know. It's just I found it on Google. I was just looking up like is it possible to like what foods make you shorter? Then it said rice.
You know what?
Okay.
I bet it's white rice. I read something about how like between white rice and brown rice is like a ton of nutrients and it's really good for you, but nobody eats it anymore. And the white rice is just crappy for you.
How about yellow rice?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, not. All right. So white rice does that.
It doesn't have the nutrients that brown rice does. It just doesn't have anything in it. It's just like filler. And maybe what you looked up on Google was, and because again I read this a while ago, it was like people who have switched from brown rice to white rice, thinking it's just as good. They're now losing a lot of nutrients they used to get.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and in more like underdeveloped countries where they used to have brown, but white is seen as like Western or something, and they're switching to white. It's like not good for them.
Well, that's very interesting. I don't know. I looked this up like actually not that long ago. I looked it up like an hour ago, and I was like, "Damn! Well, wait, what kind of rice? Because I don't even eat white rice."
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's flavorless.
Well, do you ever have sushi?
No.
Yeah, I was like that has white rice, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be honest. I've never even tried sushi.
Yeah. Well then, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever experienced something supernatural or paranormal?
I mean, I will say when my mother died, not long after she died, I did have, I don't once, but I felt like I heard her talking to me, to be honest. I mean, it only happened it only happened once. It's not like this was like a repeated thing.
Okay.
But I swear to God, I felt like I heard her say something to me.
Yeah.
She probably did.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to think so, at least.
Yeah.
What is the one thing you can't live without?
My family, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
makes
that would
sense.
be. I've heard of people who like lose their family, like in a car accident or something, and I just think that would be the most devastating.
Yeah, that would be very tragic.
But maybe that's me. I don't know.
So, are you on Twitter?
Me, I am at Leah Rachel Author. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Fabulous.
So
yeah, as long as Twitter exists, it might not be a week, but yeah.
In a week?
You never know. You just don't know.
And that's true. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, that's true though. Yeah.
A lot of people were scared for a minute because like they thought Twitter was gonna shut down or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I am surprised there hasn't been a bigger technical glitch. I mean, if they lost that much staff, you would think some of the staff was just doing the infrastructure of it, wouldn't you? Like, I'm actually amazed it hasn't had some sort of weird technical. It hasn't.
Man, shoot, if all those people were doing nothing, man, they could have hired me. I would have done nothing. I would have done nothing with pride.
Well, I'm assuming they did something. Wouldn't you think they did something?
I'm pretty sure some of them did something, but it's like, how many employees did they have again?
Yeah.
500? Yeah.
Yeah.
In the thousands, that's all I know.
100,000s, I guess, yeah.
Oh, yeah, those 100. I could have been part of those 100,000s. Then as soon as Elon came in the room, I would have been doing something so I can keep my job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been doing something.
And I was going to say in the thousands. I don't think it was 100. It was in the thousands. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to have one of those jobs that like, you get like free food and massage, like people come by, massage you while you're working, all those techie jobs have stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I didn't know there were jobs where you can get free massages.
Oh my God, totally. I've heard like Google and Facebook and I'm assuming Twitter too, all those places, like some of the benefits, because they pay so much to their top people. And then what else do to attract them? They would attract them
Yeah, of course they
laundry
would.
services, and yeah, and like even masseuses and all this stuff like on site at work.
Huh. That's very interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I should get a massage someday when I actually make enough money. It's like I should get a massage, man. I'm not gonna say I deserve it. Not yet. I don't deserve it. I'm gonna
You
get it.
deserve it. Everybody deserves a massage. I almost feel like they're like healthcare. I mean, they get your stress out. I try to get one every few months. They're really good.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have that for Project Bits.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh,
Maybe you're right, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I've never even gotten a massage. Like, yeah, maybe we should get that for that. Yeah, too.
Yeah, it's the best. I know what it feels like. It's the best. Well, so that's all we have for this episode. It was great. Yeah, absolutely. So that's the end of the episode. It was great having you here, Leia, talking about your work as an author, your past books, your upcoming books, and everything else. It's been amazing.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Anytime. And until next time, stay tuned for more.